First, I want to commend you because many of your statements were very bold and very courageous, and I want to express my respect. I'm curious, though, about your thoughts. I'm sure many of us have ideas about many of the isms, racism, sexism, and what have you, but people who are perceived as having a higher rank, I'm curious about your thoughts as to why you believe people would feel the need to have to exploit or flaunt, or not exploit, but flaunt that rank because they are perceived as having the rank. So why would they need to do that?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, there is something about rankism that feels like human nature. I admit that. But you know, sexism sure felt like human nature to me when I was 15, and it sure doesn't anymore. We can change on these things that we think are human nature, that are engraved in our genes. It turns out they're not, and the reason is because we're just barely smart enough as animals to reprogram ourselves. This may be how we differ from other animals, and it's an awful lucky thing that there arose on the planet one animal smart enough to reprogram itself. And that's just what we have to do in the next 30 years in this country and the world if we're going to have a peaceful and prosperous 21st century, is reprogram ourselves. I'll tell you why I'm optimistic. It's because I've looked into my family history, and my great-grandparents would have gleefully participated in a lynch mob. My grandparents would not have participated, but they wouldn't have condemned it. My parents condemned it and did not use the N-word in front of us kids. So my brothers and I did not have to unlearn the N-word. My own kids dated interracially. My grandchildren are interracial. 6 generations. That's what I want to say to the first questioner. It takes 6 generations. But we're already at about the level of the 5th with regard to rankism, or maybe the 4th. We got to take it on, give it a name, disallow it. We've got to do to it what Martin Luther King and all the people in the streets and LBJ and all the people who agreed with him did to racism. Switch the burden of proof from the perpetrator, from the victim to the perpetrator. It's not that hard. You can do it in your own organization for starters, and the minute it's commonplace in the workplace, in churches, in healthcare, I bet a lot of you are taking on your doctors now. Because doctors, you see, when I was a kid, they weren't just MDs, they were MDities. And now they're learning how to behave like colleagues towards us and really make us a partner in our health care. And it is so much better service. They're going through this revolution as we speak. And you can help your doctor along by discussing it with him. And in how doctors treat nurses and how nurses treat lower-ranked nurses. It's a rapidly unfolding revolution in healthcare. So I'm optimistic that we can do it by taking one organization at a time. The dignity movement isn't a million-man march, it's rather a million organizations, one at a time. And the minute they've all become dignitarian, we will demand that of our government, of our bureaucrats. And they will have no alternative but to give it to us. And then we will be the first dignitarian country on earth.